Jack Nicholson, the unmasked king of Hollywood. Behind the heavy iron gates of the last true king of Hollywood, towering hedges rise like emerald fortress walls. They guard a world that most will never see. A 3-acre sanctuary in the Hollywood Hills where the air is thick with the scent of eucalyptus and the quiet splash of a hidden Zen pond. Dotted with water hyacinths and surrounded by canyon breezes, this isn't just a piece of real estate. It is a monument to a 50-year reign. Inside, the light dims in a private screening room tucked directly into the hillside. This is where the legends meet. Today, we are opening the legend file on Jack Nicholson. We're walking through his $100 million property portfolio, exploring his 70-acre Malibu retreat, and glimpsing a private art collection valued at over $150 million. But before we look at the empire, we must unmask the man who built it. Because Jack Nicholson's life story contains a plot twist that even Hollywood's best writers couldn't have invented. Born in 1937 in Neptune, New Jersey, Jack Nicholson grew up in a house of secrets. For 37 years, he believed a fundamental lie. He thought his grandmother was his mother and his biological mother, June, was his older sister. It wasn't until 1974, when he was already a massive star, that a Time magazine researcher uncovered the truth. The woman he called Sis was actually the woman who gave him birth. This revelation gave his already complex, noir persona a real-life foundation of mystery and pain. Born in 1937 in Neptune, New Jersey, Jack Nicholson grew up in a house of secrets. For 37 years, he believed a fundamental lie. He thought his grandmother was his mother and his biological mother, June, was his older sister. It wasn't until 1974, when he was already a massive star, that a Time magazine researcher uncovered the truth. The woman he called Sis was actually the woman who gave him birth. This revelation gave his already complex, noir persona a real-life foundation of mystery and pain. By age 17, Jack packed his bags for California, ostensibly to visit his sister Lorraine. He landed a humble job as an office assistant at the legendary Hanna-Barbera animation studio. Between coffee runs and filing papers, he spent his time sketching characters, dreaming of becoming an animator. But the stage was calling louder than the drawing board. To avoid the draft, he joined the California Air National Guard, using his days to hustle for auditions and his nights in cramped apartments, obsessively sharpening his craft in acting classes. Success didn't come overnight. Jack spent a decade in the B-movie trenches. His first starring role was in the 1958 low-budget flick The Cry Baby Killer, followed by years of working for Roger Corman in gritty westerns and cheap thrillers. During this time, Jack wasn't just acting, he was learning the business. He worked as a writer and director on projects like Flight to Fury and The Trip. These years gave him a writer's instinct for structure and a director's eye for nuance. The very tools that would later make his performances feel so terrifyingly real. Everything changed in 1969 with Easy Rider. As the boozy lawyer George Hansen, Jack stole the movie from icons like Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper. It earned him his first Oscar nomination and transformed him from a journeyman actor into the defining anti-hero of a generation. The 1970s became his decade. He delivered a string of masterpieces. The Last Detail, the neo-noir perfection of Chinatown, and finally, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975. That film brought him his first Best Actor Oscar and cemented his status as Hollywood's most dangerous leading man. The 1980s proved that Jack wasn't just a rebel. He was a chameleon. He wielded an axe and a maniacal grin in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, creating the immortal "Here's Johnny" moment. Then, in a pivot that shocked critics, he moved to the vulnerable, aging astronaut in terms of endearment, winning a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. He moved between horror, drama, and comedy with an unpredictability that kept audiences mesmerized. The 90s and 2000s were a victory lap of power. From the booming courtroom intensity of A Few Good Men, You Can't Handle the Truth, to the OC-riddled romance of As Good as It Gets, and the ruthless crime boss in Scorsese's The Departed. By 2001, He was the first American to receive the Stanislavski Prize in Moscow, a nod to the method acting roots he had perfected half a century prior. Even in semi-retirement, Jack remains a titan. His surprise cameos, like the one in 2025, remind the world that while he may have stepped back, the king hasn't lost his crown. Away from the flashing bulbs, Jack built a trilogy of sanctuaries. His primary base is a hidden compound on Mulholland Drive, a fortress he stitched together piece by piece. He bought the first lot in 1969 and quietly added adjoining parcels as his wealth grew. In 2005, he famously bought Marlon Brando's neighboring house for $5 million. Not to live in it, but to tear it down. He wanted to preserve his sight lines and his privacy. Today, the 3-acre sprawl features 4 separate structures hidden by towering hedges. Inside, the main residence balances rustic warmth with modern openness. Vaulted ceilings, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a master suite with a walk-in closet large enough to hold decades of Lakers jackets and tuxedos. Out back, a sparkling pool and spa sit beside an outdoor kitchen, creating a resort-style feel where scripts are read and art is rotated. When the canyon breezes aren't enough, Jack retreats to his 70-acre Malibu estate. It's the antithesis of a glam beach house. It's a single-story traditional home surrounded by eucalyptus trees and salt air. Inside, rich wood paneling and high-beamed ceilings create a clubhouse vibe. Twin fireplaces, one a solid masonry anchor and the other an antique he salvaged years ago, warm the rooms where some of Hollywood's greatest deals were made. Then there's the garage. Jack's car collection is a portrait of quiet power. He doesn't go for screaming Italian supercars. He goes for stately metal. The Mercedes-Benz 600 SWB, a rolling artifact of old-world luxury valued at over $150,000. The Bentley Mulsanne EWB, Britain's answer to a private jet, where he can read scripts in massaging rear seats. The Range Rover, his workhorse for the winding roads of Shasta County. As a friend once joked, his garage is more stately than speedy. It whispers power rather than shouting it. Perhaps his most impressive investment isn't in real estate or cars, but in art. While other stars were buying yachts, Jack was buying visions of beauty. His walls are a literal museum. Picasso, Matisse, Monet, and Degas. A Modigliani portrait gazes from a salon, and a Rodin bronze stands near a window. Many of these were bought in the 60s and 70s for a fraction of their current value. Today, his collection is ranked alongside those of David Bowie and David Geffen, estimated at a staggering $150 million. It's a testament to his early eye and his willingness to bet on timelessness. How did he afford it all? Jack was a business strategist disguised as a rebel. In 1975, he negotiated a deal for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest that gave him 15% of the gross, a windfall worth $60 million in today's money. He doubled down with Batman in 1989 by taking a lower upfront fee in exchange for merchandising and box office points. His Joker payday ballooned to nearly $90 million. With a net worth estimated at $400 million, Jack's wealth allows him to be a ghost in the world of philanthropy. In his private life, Jack has been a retired rogue. He never remarried after his 1962 marriage to Sandra Knight, but he cultivated a massive, unconventional family circle. From his high-profile relationship with Angelica Houston to his role as an older father to Lorraine and Raymond, Jack has spent his later years painting, watching Lakers games from his sofa, and doting on his children. Behind the iron gates, the last king of Hollywood has evolved. He is no longer just the man with the wild eyes and the sharp grin. He is a patriarch who measures his legacy by the lives of his kids and the quiet of his canyon. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of a legend, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Hollywood Unmasked. Ring the bell for more legend files and let us know in the comments which Jack Nicholson performance is the greatest of all time.